Right. Siddharth, tell us about this podcast of Modi. How did you do this live AI dubbing? And you know, what was interesting was typically when we see this happening live, right? Someone else is doing the voiceover. But here, it was PM Modi's own voice. So did you train it on his voice? How long did it take? Because it was a 3-hour interview. And I mean, it was like he was talking in his own voice. How did AI do that?
First off, thanks for having me and 11 Labs here at this event. Glad to be here. You know, the Modi and Lex Friedman interview, it was a culmination of a journey for us, right? You know, we're a 2-year-old, little over 2 years AI lab. We build our own audio and models.
Which is already raised 250 million, valued at 3 billion in just 2 years.
Exactly, that's right. So it's been an unbelievable year from January 23 when we put out our first model publicly to today where, you know, here I am amongst all of you, right? So it's a fantastic journey. Now, we've had a partnership, you know, with Lex for a couple of these already, right? So, you know, we worked on the Javier Milei podcast he did. We worked on the one with Zelensky. And, you know, we got to participate in the opportunity to make the Modi interview a lot more accessible, but also to make Lex Friedman more accessible in India, right? I think if you look at his voice in Hindi, I would say that was pretty spectacular as well, right? Now, that's pretty much what our mission is. We're trying to make content accessible in every voice and every language all around the world. So, you know, when we got this, you know, the team got together, we said, how do we do justice to this? How do we make sure we deliver the best experience so that, you know, in the context of what we just heard from Akis, I think there's the other side, which is also an extension, which is how do you sort of deliver that ultimate personalization? Because finally, content at the end of the day is about connecting at an individual level. You know, we've already seen that journey on the distribution side and content. We've started seeing that to evolving palettes of content consumption when it comes to social media, digital content, and so forth, so on. And now what AI does is it takes that and gives it its next jump, right? And we were able to be a part of that for, you know, something as relevant and important as
right.
this.
So give us an example. You, me, and Akis are talking right now in English. Suppose we want to do this, want this to be accessed in, say, Hindi and Tamil. In our voices, like in Akis's voice, Tamil, in your voice, Hindi, my voice, both. How long will it take for you?
So the state of the technology is today that later today we could actually have this ready, right? You know, we could...
Why don't you do this for us?
You could do this if you chose. If you want, after this, we could go create a Chandra voice clone. And
okay,
then...
That is scary because it can be used in multiple ways.
By you.
Okay.
So I think that's the other part which is important, right? You know, you sort of put the power in the hands of the likeness IP voice owner in that sense. So, you know, it's a liberator for you. You have your voice clone, and then you get to choose what the purpose is, and you get to use it in a way which makes sense for you and amplifies everything that you're doing today.
Right. So how do you create those checks? Because what if somebody uses Siddharth's voice clone and starts sending notes to employees of 11 Labs? How do you prevent that? What checks are you putting in place?
So, you know, I think we're in a category where from day one, we realize that responsibility has to be a part of the framework, right, from day one. So we've got our own responsibility framework, which is really around moderation, then, you know, accountability, and then finally provenance. So today what we do is, you know, for example, in the Mr. Modi voice clone example, which we just discussed, you know, the average person can't go up onto 11 Labs platform at least and then start generating clones and, you know, creating mischief with that, right? We don't allow that, right? So we've got processes where as you sort of do this, first of all, you yourself are in the room and consenting. Number two, every generation is watermarked. And third, you know, if there is a need to sort of track back a piece of content out there and verify, A, was it done in 11 Labs, and B, what was the source of generation, we make that happen the whole way. And so, in fact, that matching, you know, that's a 99% precision plus, right?
How many of you would like to have voice clones, your clones of your own voices? Let's have a show of hands. Okay, how many of you are worried that it will be misused? Still a long way to go to gain trust, I think.
I agree, but you know, if you sort of look at these capabilities, you know, we're in something that is maybe 2.5 years old. If you look at this whole category of generative AI, right? So like these things, I think everything is a story of time. Everything's a story of familiarity and comfort and usage. And everything's also a story of private and public entities sort of working together to evolve sort of the new standards, right? And you already start seeing some standards here in the space like C2PA, for example,